Hello students, Mr. Goldman here from the counseling department. Hope you're doing well. We recognize that students applying to college, it can be a stressful experience. There's a lot of uncertainty, questions about finding the right fit, and we want to make this process as easy for you as possible. We know that students are in class every day, also might have extracurriculars after school or have a part-time job. So utilizing the Common Application is a great tool to help you save time in the long run. Common App has over 900 colleges that are members, allowing you to submit one application to multiple schools instead of going to several different websites. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen and walk you through their application. You'll see here I'm on commonapp.org, and on the left-hand side it says find a college. The first step is determining if the schools you're applying to are officially a member. So I'm going to search Purdue, and I'll see 3 choices, including West Lafayette, which is the campus I'm looking for. And I'm also interested in Northwestern. Again, 2 options, including Evanston. So I am set to go ahead and on the right-hand side, create an account or log in. So at first you'll create your account, and which I've done, and now I'm going to log in as a first-year student. Put in your email address. And it loads the Common Application. In working with Common App, you'll see multiple tabs across the middle: the dashboard, My Colleges, Common App, College Search, and Financial Aid Resources. Under Financial Aid Resources is general information about FAFSA, the free application for federal student aid, which you can submit starting October 1st of your senior year. This could determine if you're eligible for free grants, loans, or federal work study programs on those college campuses. Be sure to talk to your parents and your counselor about submitting FAFSA, as it's now a state of Illinois graduation requirement if you did not submit an exempt form. Under the College Search tab is how you'll go ahead and add your schools. So again, I was interested in Purdue, and it shows me that you can go ahead and find 3 results. You would just do add college, which I've already done. So now I have a checkbox on Purdue University. And then we're going to go to the Common App tab. The Common App tab is the largest section of details, and it's also a general area where you're going to submit the Common App to all the schools you're utilizing, so it's not specific to one school. It's going to ask you about broad categories such as profile, family, education, testing, activities, writing, and then courses and grades. So I'll walk you through each now. Under the profile section, you'll scroll down, put in your name, preferred name, date of birth, address, and as you look down the list here, you'll see important information, including the Common App fee waiver. Please contact your counselor to determine if you're eligible instead of having to pay a fee. Certainly, students that receive free or reduced lunch are eligible for a fee waiver and do not have to pay potentially the $75 fee to attend that college or apply to that college. Under education, I want to highlight a couple of points. The most important being you need to start by adding Grayslake Central as your school event, as your school. Your date of entry is when you began as a freshman. And as you continue down the list here, if you are a transfer student and attended any other high schools, be sure to include those under other secondary high schools. If you received any dual credit college credits, be sure to add those under colleges and universities, and then grades. The graduating class size you can find out from your counselor. We do not report class rank on transcripts. So for most students, they're going to just mark none. If you really want to put in your class rank, again, please contact your counselor and we can give you the exact number where you fall. The GPA scale is a 4.0. You'll put in your cumulative weighted GPA and hit continue. As we move down under testing, it will ask you if you plan to utilize an SAT or ACT score in the application. Knowing that many schools are now test optional, this is a decision that you would have, again, talking it over with your family and counselor to determine if sending a score is best recommended in your individual case. For activities, it gives you a chance to add up to 10 different activities that you belong to during your time in high school. So even if you were a club member for just 1 year, say as a freshman, that certainly counts. Be sure to add that. And if you played For instance, baseball all 4 years, that's an activity that you would add and you would indicate that you were a member all 4 years of your time in high school. Please note, this does also allow you to put in work experience, community engagement. So if you're a member of your church and involved, or a community group, and any family responsibilities that you may have had. And it just asks your participation grade levels and how many hours per week you spent within that club and how many weeks per year. As we move on, the writing sample is really important towards Common App. You'll see that they ask you to write one essay with 7 different prompts. So the first prompt is some students have a background, identity, interest, or talent that is meaningful. They believe to their application would be incomplete without it. If this sounds like you, then please share your story. So that's one of your choices. But as you go down the list, you're only picking one of these 7 to write a maximum 650 word essay, minimum 250 word. Please know there is a significant amount of help through the counseling and English department for this essay prompt. You can receive conversations with a counselor or English teacher to talk about anything related to topics, maybe brainstorm ideas, or furthermore, actually write your essay and receive feedback on a rough draft. Our suggestion, as you see there's a text box here, is to create a Google Doc and then share it with any reviewers so we can work with you together. And eventually, once it's completed, come back and paste over to this text box and continue. Finally, an area of note on Common Application itself is under courses and grades. You'll see one of the schools that I'm applying to, which is Purdue, does require students to self-report grades within the Common Application itself. So you will get an unofficial copy of your transcript from your counselor, and you'll go year by year to then update your grades. So as a 9th grader, if you took biology honors, it will ask you to indicate your first semester grade, say B+, second semester grade, A-, and you'll do that for every class, 9th through 12th grade, that is available to you on a transcript. I'm going to move on to the My Colleges tab, which is now specifically related to the schools that I've added to my list. So as you see, I have Northwestern and Purdue, and they're both grayed out. I'm going to go ahead and highlight Purdue. So now it has blue indication of Purdue University, and there are questions. It tells me, first of all, when their deadlines are. So early action, 11/1, and then regular decision, which is the final deadline, would be January 15th of that year. Under the question sections, these are now specific to Purdue University, and there's a preferred start term if you're planning to send test scores. As I scroll down, I want to make sure you recognize there is a writing sample now that is geared towards Purdue itself. And you'll see this is a much smaller prompt of 100 words, and it just asks, how will opportunities at Purdue support your interests, both in and out of the classroom? And there's a couple short answer questions, a max of 100 words. Under recommenders in FERPA is a critical step you must take to submit transcript and letters of recommendation. FERPA stands for the Family Educational Rights Privacy Act, which more or less is a law telling you that your counselors or our school cannot submit these documents without your permission. So you'll go ahead and complete release authorization. You'll continue on, acknowledge. And then it will ask, do you waive your rights to review recommendations or do you not waive your rights? You'll pick one of those two, click that you understand, and then give a signature and the date, and you'll save and close. The nice aspect of FERPA is once that step is completed for one school, the checkbox in green will appear for all the schools on your application. What's very important is once you've completed your FERPA, you need to go into Naviance and link the two programs together. Ms. Rossi, another counselor in our department, has created a similar video for Naviance walking you through that step. That will then allow us to submit transcripts and any letters of recommendation on your behalf. When you get to a point where Common App is completed and you've answered the Purdue sections or your school, you could then go to review and submit. And you'll see here that I am not at a point where I can submit my application because it's incomplete. If it were done at this point, there would be a tab underneath here asking you to preview a PDF of your file, and you would get an indication of saying, yes, this is accurate. I'm ready to now submit and pay any application fees that are necessary. I am going to cross over to Northwestern just to compare and contrast their writing sample. Again, under questions, I'll scroll down, and there's a supplemental essay specific to Northwestern of why Northwestern. And it just wants you to go into greater detail of why you feel this school is a good fit. Not all schools that you apply to are going to have a supplemental essay, but it is important that if you are writing one, to be as specific as possible. Give concrete information from either a visit you've done there, researching their website, perhaps finding a class or a club that really appeals to you, to give general information about why that school is a very good fit for you. And again, FERPA is there. And when you're ready to apply to Northwestern, even if it's a couple weeks later after your Purdue application is completed, you can go ahead and do review and submit. So with that, that is a very quick overview of the Common Application. What we want to emphasize from our counseling office is that we are here to help you. Our whole team is trained well at college advising. We can answer any questions you have, so please contact us. If you want to set up times to meet, we can certainly do so, and your family can definitely be part of those conversations as well. We hope this helps, and please let us know if you have any questions. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.